Hello and welcome to the IERLab Podcast. I'm Walter Lee, and today we explore China's live stream guilds, key players in wanghong or influencer industry. Acting like satellite intermediaries, these organizations shape how creators work, manage, and perform entrepreneurial labor online. Join us as we unpack the hidden infrastructure between one of China's fastest growing digital economies. And for more information, we have Xiaoting Yu, who wrote the article on satellite intermediaries, media management, and entrepreneurial labor in the Chinese Wanghong live stream guilds. Welcome, Xiaoting.
Yeah, hi everyone. My name is Xiaoting. I'm currently an affiliate investigator at the Digital Media Research Center at Queensland University of Technology.
Queensland QUT. I'm very familiar with
Yeah.
it being growing up in Brisbane. So I used to
Oh,
I used to work just around the corner
yeah.
from QUT. So I'm very,
Yeah.
very familiar with that area. So, listen, we have a lot to talk about today. I can't wait to talk about it.
Okay.
So I'm going to start off with a great opening question, which is, how do live stream guilds shape the structure of work, creativity, and influence in China's wanghong or influencer industry?
Thank you, Walter. So I think your question is actually asking me the core findings of my paper, and I would like to expand a little bit with the background of this project. So it is the core finding of my PhD project. And in my PhD, I look at the overall wanghong, which is influencer economy in China. And then at first, I started out to explore the relationship between digital media platforms and creators. What are their relationship? But when we talk about platforms, we understand it as a new form of business model that try to do what the previous media are not utilizing, which is they monetize from user-generated content.
Hmm.
So the content generated or distributed by platforms, these platforms are usually generated by individuals rather than the employee that this
Hmm.
company hire. So the problem of that kind of distribution or content production model is that these are at scale. So the platforms as a single entity, a company, they are not able and will not be able to manage all the employees all over the world, which means the users that are individuals, because these people are not governed by them, even if they have signed some user agreement, but they're not exactly the employees of these platforms. So when it comes to governing the content of these users generated content, when it comes to governing these users, these creators, it become a problem because there are a lot of them, and they post many things at any time. And the moderation team, I mean, although it's already been automated, they simply cannot manage that thing at scale. So I
Hmm.
think there comes the rise of these intermediaries, which in some contexts, especially in the global market, they are called multi-channel network or MCNs, which means the transmedia company that broker how these creators or influencer work and how they manage their deals, brand deals, and content with the platforms.
Hmm.
So when I explore that dynamic in China, I find that there are similar organizations like MCN working in China, but it's like they give the same name, same reference to these multi-channel network in a lot of the scholarly work. They did mention this organization, usually call them multi-channel network or
Hmm.
agencies. But in my research, I found that they have erased the characteristics of the diversity of these organizations. So in China, this ecosystem is massive. So it has many different types of intermediaries that
Hmm.
brokers different kinds of relationship. And I found that the people who work in these organizations are actually coming from previous media or non-media sectors that are working as different occupations, such as digital marketing professionals or talent trainers or talent managers, content production crew, or publisher, and also supply chain management or performance management as well. So there are a lot of professions that goes into this organization, but we are calling them, we give them an umbrella name like multi-channel network, which means that people only understand them as brokers, but don't know exactly what are these people. So I think there should be another name which is built upon or beyond the name of multi-channel network that capture the essence of this organization. That's why I call them satellite intermediary. So this concept is derived from theory that might be a bit not unfamiliar with people who have not read the literature, but it's actually coming from the theory of cultural intermediaries, which means that these are entities or organizations that are managing, as I cited.
Yeah.
So according to scholarly literature, so these organizations are the organizations that are usually opaque and non-human infrastructure at work that will influence the content visibility and diversity. So that means that what we are seeing on the platform are actually influenced by these culture intermediary or digital intermediaries. But in the current literature, platforms, the companies who host all the content are certainly regarded as this intermediary. But these organizations, they also have the power to decide what kinds of content come out or what kinds of content are delivered to the audience. But they are usually not enough information or details about this organization. And also, they are very, very dependent on the platform. So why do I call them satellite? Because they are doing exactly the same job as culture intermediation, like the platforms. They influence content, they influence the audience, what they receive, but they are very dependent on platform as the planet. They are the satellites orbiting around the larger culture intermediary like the platforms. And they are mediating the cultural activities between platforms and various users group, usually include the creators, but also there are other users such as the advertisers or fan communities. So they are mediating the cultural activity around this among these users group, and they play a very significant role in shaping that dynamic of the content's visibility. So I think there are not enough work looking into these entities and what they usually do. So what they actually do as a satellite intermediary is that, like I said, they influence the content, influence the visibility of content and diversity of the content. But how does that shape the structure of work? That came to my core argument. So when we talk about the structure of work and labor, I'm looking at, so what do we mean by creator? How do they work? The structure of their work is usually referring to how many times they work, the frequency of their work, or how they operate. So for creators, it's pretty much different from the 9-to-5 jobs that we understand, because usually when we think about a 9-to-5 job, you have a time that you checking in the office, then you can go back home and forget about everything about job. But the creator, the influencer, doesn't work. They don't work in this way.
Right.
They are facing very blurred line between work and life. So there is another concept called presence split, which means that their personal presence are bleeding their personal life are bleeding into, or all their work are bleeding into their personal life. So from my interviews, one streamer was even claiming that she knows someone who will go on live stream during her sleep and showers because they need to log more hours because that's how they are paid. If they have more hours that they're on the live stream, they can get more money or they can claim more hours as their work. So
Wow.
it is exactly because of that kind of paying structure or that kind of business model that the structure of their work is totally changed into maybe for someone is 24/7, maybe for someone is the longer hour they get, the more money they have. So this is how the rules of this live stream guild, which is a part of the satellite intermediary, that change the structure of work of the live streamers. And how about the labor? So when we talk about the labor, it refers to multiple aspects. First is about their career. Second is about their the employment thing, how they are employed. And I think the career, so for people who work in this industry, they have really high elimination rate. So we usually, from our impression, is that a lot of people have earned a lot of money as a creator, as an influencer. But the trade is very cruel. There is a very high elimination rate, according to my interviewees. It only takes 3 months to tell whether you have potential to succeed, whether you can become a big star. And if you don't, you will lose your chance. They will just abandon you, and then you can only operate on your by your own and with no support of resources and no support from the company. So that high elimination rate become accepted as normal for these people, for the practitioners working here. And that is one precarious side of the labor in this trade. And the second thing is the contract, the employment. So people are usually exploited by the contracts in the trade. We have seen that in a lot of literature, both in the trade literature and the academic literature, that the influencers or creators are exploited with deceptive clauses or minimum requirements in their contracts. And if they have signed with this agency, they will be selling the they need to commit to the agency for a long period of time. And if they broke that commitment, if they broke that contract, they need to pay a lot of money to break the contract. So this very unequal or exploitative contract happens in this industry, and they behind this contract are the intermediaries or the live stream guild I study in this paper, because these companies are exactly what causes the status quo of how they operate, how they work, how long they work, and how precarious they are. And that's why I want to look into why is it that way, and how do they create that kind of precarity for the people in this field.
I think you've definitely shown the core of this
Yeah,
the reason why you are studying this, and it is very fascinating. I
yeah,
do want to take it back to the audience though, because I
yeah,
want to
yeah,
know how do live stream guilds shape audiences' expectations, and what
yeah.
does this reveal about the interaction between like a fan demand and also digital
Mm.
labor?
Yeah. So actually, my paper is more of a meso level analysis of how the company, like the live stream guild, how they operate. But I think they are all related because it is a network economy, and what what they are doing, their practices certainly have influence on or their strategies certainly have influence on the fan community and the audience. So for me, I think if we just look at live stream guilds, they need to maintain good relationship with their audience. So they will categorize their audience in the audience that can pay a lot of money, that is high spending, and they will try everything. For example, in some circumstances, if it's a female live streamer, they will go to the extreme to just suggest the streamer to perform very erotic gesture or even a kind of seductive gesture to maintain a good relationship or attract people who can spend high money for that live streamer. So that's somehow how, but all these suggestions are actually not the idea of the streamer. So we have a lot of people have stigmatization that the live streamer, especially female streamer, they do that deliberately, but sometimes they are not doing that of their own will. They're doing that because the company or the live stream intermediary suggested them to do to maintain a good relationship with the high spending user. And for the other kinds of live stream, I mean, if we understand live stream as just that kind of showroom live stream, that would be too limited. There are all the other kinds of live stream, for example, gaming live stream.
Yeah.
So for something like gaming, these agents, these intermediary, they play a big part in adding to the reputational capital of their channel, of their live stream channel. So how do they do that? On Chinese platform, I'm sure Korean also have similar mechanism on the platform.
Yes.
They will have title, they will have ranking title for their very prestigious or VIP users. So those titles are worth thousands or even sometimes a few hundred thousands of money for the individual users. As a very ordinary user who are not interested in that kind of business, you will be very surprised. Why would people willing to pay such a high, such a large amount of money for just a virtual title that doesn't translate into anything?
Right.
But actually, the top paying, so they give that title. The title are reserved for the people who pay most money on that platform. But there is usually no surprise that the top paying users are actually these agency. So they are not audience. They are the people who operated as live streamer on this platform. So why do they need those titles? Because title in that kind of dynamic, in that kind of ecosystem means reputation, means status. If they get those titles, the whole streamer, the showroom will be decorated in a very special way. And also they get a good relationship with the platform staff, with the platform management team. And then they get preferential treatment from the team, from the company, platform company. So that's why they are paying a lot of money just for the title, because on the one hand, it can show the audience we are the top ranking channel on this platform. We are the king on this platform. And on the other hand, they can get a preferential treatment, good relationship with the platform company. For example, they can get support for traffic. The platform would direct more audience, more new audience to their live stream channels so that they can get more viewers, more followers.
Right.
And these are win-win. And secondly, so because they have established such a high status, they can attract more streamers. So it's like in the market, I think a lot of people will dream of going to the big companies, or because they usually know the big companies come with good name and good working good conditions or salary or packages. So these status is actually, these titles is a statement of to all the streamer who are doing live on that platform. If you want the best package, the best team to support your performance, come to our live stream guild, come to our company. So it's a way they recruit new talent as well. So this is one of the tactics that they are building their reputation on the platform, so that not only the audience can get sorry, I'm a bit straying away from that, but my idea is that the audience expectation are managed through very strategic suggestion or instructions from the team of these people. And secondly, the audience also get a sense of status or reputation of the live stream channel from the title, from this company who are willing to invest it in their title of the or ranking on the platform. So and because they have that kind of status, they maintain a good relationship with the platform, that they get more resources, and these resources are usually getting more audience who can, so they're more visible. The visibility of the channel increase because they are maintaining a good relationship with the platform, and that's how the audience will see it. So you may not see some channels even if they have really good content, but the channels you are seeing on this platform, usually they have invested some money, or they have invested in the relationship management with the platform, so they get very good algorithmic recommendation feed. So that's how it works for in relation to the audience management.
Let's continue with the management in regards
Yeah,
to live stream guilds. Now,
yeah,
how do live stream guilds manage the balance between supporting a creator
yeah,
and
yeah.
or a streamer, and actually more controlling the streamers? And how does it affect their creative freedom? And I guess, since this is a job, their work
Mm,
pressures.
mm. Yeah, you're right. They have pressures, and that kind of pressures, it's a lot more complicated than how we understand as these live stream guilds are just exploitative. So for a lot of the literature who talk about live streamers and live stream guilds or live stream agency, the live stream guilds and agency, they are notorious because they are usually capitalists that try to exploit the live streamer, that force them to do things they don't want to do. But for people who work there, who are a part of the staff, practitioners of the teams, if you ask them how they think about their work, they would definitely not think that they're exploiting the performer. They think that all the performance of this live streamer, they should not be considered as the effort of an individual. It's a teamwork, because they think that this streamer, only because they are showing themselves in front of the camera, we cannot take it for granted that everything that happened behind the scene are meaningless. So what they understand their work is that they provide an environment to support these people to perform, this live streamer to perform. And that environment, according to one of my participants, is that it's not just performance. They also need cameramen. They need someone who know uh, how to adjust the camera, or how to adjust the lightings, or even the music. They also have some training professionals for the streamer who don't have any background in dancing or singing. So they have
Mm.
trainers for these people. So they provide a lot of in-house photography, styling, or makeup services and costume services for the performers, for the live streamers. And they teach them what should they prepare, how to choose the streaming topic, how to choose the music, and how to engage with different types of fans. So
Mm.
they think all this know-how, all this training are a part of supporting resources for these live streamers. And if we go further, sometimes they also have uh, resources sharing across different streamers. So if one live stream guild have a streamer that is top tier, that has millions of followers, they will usually ask them to support or invite a battle or some kind of connect. What do they call that in so in Chinese is called PK. So that means that they battle. They will connect the two live stream room with two live streamers. So they will ask these top tier streamers to connect with the other smaller, newer streamers of the company so that they can bring traffic, bring attention to these smaller streamers.
Mm.
So these are also a kind of support. But the support doesn't come with no price. They come
Mm.
as very high price of control, like I
Mm.
said. So one of the control is manifested in how they suggest what they should do in case of engaging different types of fans. So one of that is what I just mentioned earlier. They will suggest female streamers to do some gesture
Correct.
just to please the male users,
Mm.
male audience, and sometimes they will control. The control is more or less. Most of these control are related to regulatory or censorship concern. So as we all know, the Chinese social media platforms, they have very strict streaming rules or very strict content production rules. If you mention something very sensitive that's related to politics or related to violence, something like guns or police, your live stream room will instantly it will be banned or
Mm.
suspended. So their training also include a lot of rules that they will inform and teach these live streamers that you shouldn't say that.
Mm.
You can say something else that your audience will understand what you mean, but you cannot mention guns or police, or you cannot smoke a cigarette in front
Mm.
of the camera. So these are the things they will control the performers, the live streamers to do. Their autonomies are sacrificed or compromised in this process. But I think that's fair enough. I know
Mm.
it's not very good in terms of the freedom of speech or
Right.
in terms of the autonomy, creative autonomy of people. But I mean, if you work in a company, you
Yes.
will have also they will not allow you to say to the public what's the salary or
Right.
sometimes some secrets. So I think that's how they work, and it certainly shape how the people, how the live streamer or influencer who work for them, and shape their understanding of what it means to be a live streamer. How should I behave? How should I regulate myself or discipline myself in this trade?
Right, right. And it
Yeah,
is not a very easy trade to be in, not just, I think, in China,
yeah,
I guess, especially in very political sensitive countries,
yeah,
like even in Korea, I think it is
yeah,
that they've got their rules and regulations to go by.
yeah,
But we'll have to leave it there
yeah,
for today. But it's been an
yeah,
absolute pleasure to talk to you,
yeah.
Xiaoting. But before you go, is there anything you would like to promote, any future studies or current works? Because there's always that potential of having you back on.
Yeah, also I really enjoyed this chat with you, Walter.
Hmm.
For my recent work, not long ago, I have a chapter published about the gentrification of creator culture on Kuaishou, another Chinese platform, and it has came out in a Routledge collection on the global South creator cultures. And another paper that I'm now co-authoring with my colleagues is about AI slop creators. So these are the people who produce viral video content at scale with generative AI tools. And beyond that, I'm developing some side projects that look at influencer activism, AI, and innovation policies, and new media in disaster risk communication. And all these sit within my broader interest of how platforms organize labor and shape the cultural production on it. So there will be more to share soon.
It seems like there's a lot to share indeed, and I
Yeah.
can't wait. Hopefully, we have you back on the podcast sometime in the near future. But I'll
Yeah.
have to thank our listeners today as well for listening to the IERLab podcast. Once again, I'd like to thank today's guest, Xiaoting Yu.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yes, and until next time, this has been Walter Lee. You may click on your next adventure now.